Good day, everyone. Let's pause and think about a recent or inspiring moment, like an unexpected job offer or a simple act of kindness. These moments of wonder and gratitude lead us to Psalm 105:1. Give praise to the Lord, proclaim his name. Make known among the nations what he has done. This verse calls us to praise and share the wonderful things God has done, more than just saying nice things about him. It's about celebrating his love and acknowledging his works in our lives. Think about the times God has been there for you, the moments when you felt his presence, help, or comfort. These experiences are not just for us to hold on to. They're stories meant to be shared. Just like we tell others about a good book we read or a great movie we saw, we should be even more excited to talk about the amazing things God has done. Understanding the importance of praise in our faith shows us it's not just saying words, it's a key part of our bond with God. Praise helps us focus on how great and faithful God is instead of our problems. It's our way of showing we trust him and know he's in control and good, no matter what we face.
Praising God also reminds us of our role in his big plan. It teaches us to stay humble and remember that life is about his plans, not just what we want. This way of thinking is really important, especially when we are feeling overwhelmed or lost. Praise brings our hearts and minds back in line with what God wants and his promises to us. Praise brings us strength and comfort. In the Bible, like when Paul and Silas sang in prison, we see how singing can show that our hope and joy come from God, not from our hard times. Praising God every day can be simple. It could be a quiet thank you, singing a hymn you like, or just thinking about the good things God has done. The important part is to really mean it, showing true appreciation for God and his actions in our lives.
Let's really get into Psalm 105:1 and see praise as an important part of our work with God. Praise is a powerful thing that makes our faith stronger, helps our relationship with God, and keeps us grounded in his never-changing truth. Psalm 105 is very important in both Jewish and Christian faiths. It's a song about remembering, calling us to think about all the great things God has done over time. This psalm isn't just listing events. It's a celebration of how faithful God has been to his people. In Jewish tradition, Psalm 105 and 106 are linked to Passover. This holiday is when Jewish people remember how God freed them from slavery in Egypt. A big part of this psalm story, telling these stories again reminds us of God's power and how he helps his people. For Christians, this psalm is about how God never changes. It shows that the God who did great things in the Bible is the same God working today. This idea gives comfort and hope, knowing that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is still with us.
Psalm 105, especially at the beginning, tells us to thank the Lord and call on him. It invites us to look back and see how God has always been there and provided for us throughout history. From the big escape from Egypt to the personal challenges we all face, this psalm shows us that God is always there and all-powerful. Understanding Psalm 105 helps us see our lives within a grander story of faith. This psalm isn't just about ancient events, it's about God's continuous guidance and support. As believers, we're connected through these shared experiences of God's faithfulness, joining a long line of those who have witnessed his enduring love and strength. In Psalm 105, we see God leading people through significant changes, like guiding the Israelites through the wilderness. These stories from long ago still speak to us because they mirror our own life challenges. They remind us that, just like the Israelites, we often face uncertainties, whether it's in personal growth, job transitions, or shifting relationships.
Think about your own moments of change. Maybe it was a time when you felt lost or were facing a tough decision. In these times, just as he did with the Israelites, God guides us, providing wisdom and direction. His guidance is often like the manna in the wilderness, unexpected but perfectly timed to meet our needs. This connection between the Israelites' journey and our own experiences shows us that God is consistently working in our lives. Every change we encounter is part of a larger plan for our well-being and growth. As we navigate these changes, we can take comfort in knowing that the God of the past is still with us today, guiding, supporting, and walking with us through every season of life. By reflecting on Psalm 105 and our own stories, we gain a deeper understanding of God's role in our lives. It's not just about facing change, it's about growing through it, with God's help. Our personal journeys are intertwined with God's ongoing work in the world, revealing his unchanging truth and boundless grace in our everyday lives.
Now, let's look at another important message in Psalm 105:1. It tells us to make known among the nations what he has done. This links well with what Jesus said in Matthew 28:19-20, known as the Great Commission. There, Jesus told his followers to go out, share his teachings with everyone, and welcome them into the faith. This idea of sharing our faith isn't just for church leaders or missionaries. It's something we're all asked to do. By talking about how God has worked in our lives, we're doing what this verse says, letting others know about God's actions. Sharing your faith might seem a bit scary, but it doesn't have to be. It's really just about sharing your own experiences with God's love and kindness. It means being ready to talk about your faith when you have the opportunity, whether it's with someone you know or even someone you've just met. The Great Commission isn't only about spreading the word. It's also about helping others grow in their faith, just like someone may have helped us. It means guiding, teaching, and supporting them on their spiritual journey. When we share our faith, we're also expressing our gratitude. We're showing how thankful we are for what God has done in our lives by wanting others to experience the same joy and peace. It's one of the most powerful ways we can say thanks to God, by helping others get to know Him and His love.
So, as we think about Psalm 105:1 and Matthew 28:19-20, let's see them as encouragement to talk about our faith with others. Let's be open to discussing how God has worked in our lives and be ready to help those who are searching for Him. In doing so, we're not just following a command. We're sharing the happiness and love we've found in our relationship with God. Talking about our faith can make a difference, not only in the lives of others, but also in our own spiritual journey. Let me share a couple of real-life examples to show how witnessing and sharing our faith stories can be powerful. Let me tell you two stories that show how sharing our faith stories can make a big impact. First, there's Sarah, a member of our community. She was going through a tough time, feeling lost and uncertain about her life. One day, she talked to her co-worker, Mark. Mark didn't try to convince her or push his beliefs. He simply shared how his faith had brought him peace and guidance. This conversation sparked something in Sarah. She started exploring faith for herself and eventually found the same peace and direction that Mark had talked about. Mark's willingness to share his story opened a door for Sarah to discover a new path in her life. Then there's Alex, who didn't grow up in a family that talked much about faith. When he went to college, he met some students who were part of a campus ministry. They invited Alex to join their gatherings, not with pressure, but with genuine kindness. Through these interactions, Alex saw faith in action, the love, the community, and the hope that these students shared. It wasn't a single sermon or a specific scripture that changed Alex's heart. It was the consistent and authentic witness of these students that led him to embrace faith. These stories remind us that our faith stories can deeply influence others. When we share how God has worked in our lives, we offer a personal touch that can't be found in a sermon or a book. Our stories are relatable and real, and they can connect with people in unique and powerful ways.
So, as we think about evangelism and witnessing, let's remember that it's not about having all the answers or being perfect. It's about being genuine, sharing our experiences, and showing the love and grace that we've received. Our stories could be the very thing that someone needs to hear to start their own journey of faith. Let's keep in mind that when it comes to evangelism and sharing our faith, it's not about having all the answers or being perfect. It's about being genuine, sharing our experiences, and showing the love and grace we've received. Our stories can be just what someone needs to hear to begin their own faith journey.
Now, one of the most impactful examples of personal testimony in the Bible is the transformation of Paul in Acts 9. Paul, formerly known as Saul, strongly opposed the early Christian church and was even present at the stoning of Stephen, the first Christian martyr. But everything changed for him on the road to Damascus. While on his way to arrest Christians, Paul was struck by a blinding light and heard Jesus' voice asking, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" This encounter completely turned Paul's life around. He was blinded for 3 days until Ananias, following God's command, healed him. After this experience, Paul became a passionate advocate for Christ and devoted his life to spreading the gospel. Paul's story is a powerful illustration of God's ability to transform a person's life. It demonstrates that no one is beyond God's grace and love. His journey from persecutor to apostle shows how encountering God can profoundly change a person's path. Another important story is about the Samaritan woman at the well in the book of John, chapter 4. One day, while she was drawing water from the well, Jesus approached her and engaged in a surprising conversation. He revealed personal details about her life that no one else could have known. He spoke about her past relationships and the struggles she had faced. This revelation astounded the Samaritan woman. She recognized that Jesus was more than just a regular man. He seemed to know everything about her. In awe and amazement, she left her water jar at the well and hurried back to her town. She couldn't wait to tell everyone about her encounter with Jesus. She exclaimed to the people in her town, "Come, see a man who told me everything I ever did." Could this be the Messiah? Her testimony generated a lot of curiosity among the people, and many of them went to see Jesus for themselves. They wanted to meet the man who knew the Samaritan woman's entire history. The Samaritan woman's story serves as a powerful example of how a personal encounter with Jesus can transform a person's life and lead them to share their faith with others. It illustrates how our own experiences with God can influence those around us, sparking curiosity and belief in the hearts of others.
I encourage you to try these easy ways to show thanks every day. Keep a gratitude journal. Start or end your day by writing down 3 things you're grateful for. It can be simple things like a sunny day or a friend's kindness. This helps you focus on the good in your life. Thank people. Make an effort to thank the people in your life, whether it's family, friends, or even strangers who do something nice for you. A simple thank you can make someone's day and strengthen your relationships. Pray with thanks. When you pray, thank God for what He's already done in your life before asking for more. This helps you develop a grateful heart. Reflect each evening. Before bed, think about the moments when you felt blessed or saw God at work during the day. Recognizing these moments can make you feel more thankful. Share your gratitude. Tell others what you're thankful for, whether in conversation, on social media, or in a note. Sharing your gratitude can inspire others to see the good in their lives. Help others. Volunteering or assisting someone in need is a powerful way to show gratitude. It's a way of recognizing your blessings and passing them on. Be mindful. Take short breaks throughout the day to appreciate your surroundings and the people you meet. This mindfulness can help you see the many blessings around you. Celebrate small achievements. Don't forget to acknowledge and celebrate even your small accomplishments. It can boost your mood and foster a grateful mindset. By adding these simple habits to your daily routine, you can develop a more thankful heart. This can change your perspective on life and deepen your faith. Let's take on this challenge and actively seek opportunities to express gratitude every day.
As believers, we have something special, our personal stories of how we've encountered God, moments of faith, and the changes we've gone through. These stories are not just for us, they can really touch other people's hearts. I want to encourage you today to talk about your faith experiences with others. Your story is important, and it can make a big difference in someone's life. When you share your faith journey, you're not just telling facts, you're giving hope, inspiration, and showing how God has worked in your life. Your story is like proof of God's faithfulness and love. Think about the people you know, friends, family, coworkers, neighbors. Some of them might be having a hard time looking for answers or just needing some encouragement. Your story can be like a light in their dark times, bringing them comfort and showing them God's grace. Don't worry about being a perfect speaker. Just be yourself and speak from your heart. Your honesty will mean a lot to others. So, take a step of faith today. Share your story with someone you trust, or even with a stranger if the chance comes up. Let your story be like a ray of hope in a world that can be confusing. Remember, you're not the only one doing this. Many believers before us have shared their faith stories, and we're continuing to tell people about God's love and how He can change lives. Your personal story can inspire, encourage, and guide others toward a closer relationship with God. Don't miss this chance, and may your story bring light to those you share it with.